Let's go live now to the Deputy Opposition Leader Sussan Ley. Sussan, good to see you. Thanks for your time today. So National Cabinet, it's up today. It's a big one. What message do you want to send?
Well, I'd like to say to the Prime Minister, don't go into that room of mainland, wall-to-wall Labor premiers and not come out with results that address the cost of living crisis that Australians are facing. This is the most important thing. And I don't want to say, Pete, that people are not sitting around that table with goodwill, but this is just so important. I'm starting to really feel the pain of small businesses as I travel the country, and customers just don't have that spending power. So they're calling up, they're cancelling appointments, they're stopping what they would normally do. Their regular appointments at various places are being dropped, and you know they're just batting down the hatches. This is tough times. So
it looks as though incentives to fast-track approvals as well as increasing supply is going to be on the table. Is there anything else that you want discussed or considered?
Well, when I was reading the previews of the NatCab meeting, Pete, I just felt this sense of frustration because the government has been here with their feet well and truly under the desk for 15 months at least. And now we're starting to talk about these things as if we're finally having a conversation about increasing supply and speeding up approvals. I've been talking about these things, and I'm not the only one, for a long time now. So I hope that there's some prepared ideas and we don't just go back to the starting point, because it seems that's where we are right now. We need action. We need action where it makes a difference.
It's not just 15 months of failure, though. This is a decade of failure, which brings in your old government, because it's been growing for so long now.
People have been pointing to state governments and supply issues for a long time. I speak to the housing industry people, and they often say, they have for years, that you need help, local governments need help to put the utilities on new developments. So, for example, the water, the sewage, the power, payments that need to happen before you actually start the actual building of the house. So a lot of this is not new. It's been known for a long time. This Albanese government has wasted time with its Housing Affordability Fund, which is not about increasing supply. It's not about what we need to do, which is build our way out of the crisis. They've been in a holding pattern on this for a long time now, and it's not good enough. You actually, the desperate need of people to move into affordable homes is felt everywhere. It's being talked about everywhere. But the other thing I want to mention, Pete, and you and I have chatted about this before, is that it costs so much to build a home because the ingredients of every house are getting more expensive, partly because of the government's energy policies. In fact, in large part because of their energy policies. Aluminium, steel, bricks. And now the Energy Minister is talking about a carbon border adjustment mechanism on some of those products to protect Australian industries. Right. Now that sounds okay, but all that tells me is costs will go up, including the costs of building a home.
Rents is going to be a big factor today too. Do you support any form of rental control, which is what the Greens want and which strangely Victoria has flirted with?
Those policies have not been proven to work, and what they don't do is add to the housing stock. What they don't do is build more houses. Back to my main point, we have to build our way out of this crisis, not put regulatory controls, because that's not the answer.
And by building out, you've got to drop taxes for building companies to do it. Otherwise, they'll run insolvent, which is why so many have.
Building companies are going broke. I live in regional Australia. They're going broke in regional Australia because the costs that they're facing relating to contracts that are fixed, that they've already signed, are just going through the roof. It's because this government is not acting with a plan on inflation that brings down those costs. And if you put an energy policy in place that actually punishes the people who make bricks, who make steel, who make aluminium, who make the ingredients, who want to shut down native forest industries, and therefore, of course, we're importing some of the trusses for our homes from overseas. Look, it just goes on, and when you sit and talk to the real people who are working in their small businesses, the contractors, the builders, you can just see how tough this is. So I really hope National Cabinet actually comes up with some solid initiatives today.
Is that Matildas' scarf I can see there hidden underneath your jacket there, Sussan?
It's a green and yellow scarf. I don't know that it's necessary. It's a generic Australian Australian scarf, today's a day to celebrate the Matildas, and put no pressure on them whatsoever. They'll play their best tonight. We love them for what they do. I love them for the leadership they're showing in women and girls sport. So across these tiny towns that I represent in the Riverina, you know, children are coming out, particularly girls, and they're talking about the Matildas, and they're getting out there and they're getting active and they're getting onto their school ovals.
Very good, Sussan Ley. Thank you.